People are making insane yields utilizing the LP pairs and liquidity pairs on the Black Hole DEX, the new project on Avalanche built by Superverse, Ellio Trades, and Alex Becker. But in this video, I'm going to show you how you can take your pairs from the local platform of Black Hole, which could be yielding you anywhere from 300 to 700 to some pairs 900%, and actually 10 to 20x the yield that you are getting on these by moving your yield to a different platform that is paying up to 10,000% APR utilizing auto compounding. Yes, this is legit. It is not some unsustainable mechanism from DeFi summer when everything collapsed. Okay, in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to get involved and how to maybe strategize your risk reward between local pairs on Black Hole and utilizing this other platform. Let's go ahead and dive into it. Before we dive into my strategy and the way that I'm kind of dividing up my capital between platforms, be sure to drop down below, hit that like button, and subscribe to the channel for more every single week here on In the Game. We have you covered 4 to 5 times a week on all the alpha you need to win in this bull market. So be sure to like and subscribe down below. And of course, a big shout out to our sponsors here on In the Game. We have some incredible sponsors from Blowfin, Nexus, 𝗪𝗪𝗡, as well as Everreach Labs. So be sure to check out all of our sponsors down below. If you need a place to trade, centralized exchange, I would absolutely check out Blowfin. You can link down below in the description for Blowfin as well as Nexus. So I'll leave these both down below. One is centralized, one is decentralized. You can check both of these out in the links in the description. Let's go ahead and just jump right into it. We're not going to really be going over the overall market today. We're not going to be talking about altcoin buys. I'm really just going to be updating my strategy over the course of the Black Hole platform. So I've gotten a lot of questions this last week of, hey, has your strategy changed since we moved into epoch number 1? So last week, we'll take a look at the docs here in just a second, but last week was epoch 0, which kind of sounds funny, but it was the ground floor epoch of the platform. And if we take a look here at the docs, as mentioned, we can see that we are now in phase 1, which is event horizon. So token distributions over the course of these 14 epochs from 1 to 14 will increase by 3% with each new epoch to incentivize early adoption and participation in the protocol, which has been fantastic because we positioned ourselves so well for Black Hole. We told you guys exactly how to get allocation by just staking up some Superverse tokens, as well as just other ways like being a part of 𝗕𝗟𝗃𝗏 or stuff like that. So a lot of people literally just got free money given to them from this platform on this channel because we knew that this would be probably something noteworthy to take advantage of. And I mean, it really has exceeded all expectations. Currently sitting at still $1.20, even though the broader market is not looking the best today. We're seeing a lot of altcoin dips across the board. $137 million market cap. I do think that this is still super undervalued, just giving some of the stats and the data we're about to go over before I dive in to my updated strategy. But they just crossed $1 billion in cumulative trading volume on their 14th day. That is insane growth, especially for something on the Avalanche chain, which, like, you know, most of the liquidity right now lives on Solana and lives on Ethereum. So at the same time, that is super impressive by itself. And just some of the stats from the first epoch, which is technically still epoch 0, but 620 million in trading volume, 660K in trading fees, and 850K in voting rewards. And their TVL grew from 11.2 million to $177 million. And that was literally over the course of like a week. If we just take a look here over the last 13 days, you can see the DEX volume just continuously climbing here and hitting an all-time high of local highs, at least, at $675.4 million on July 22nd. Absolutely ridiculous. It is currently the 3rd biggest DeFi protocol on the Avalanche network. I would not be surprised to see this flip OG yield protocols like Benkey, for example. We just see here the amount of fees, the revenue that this project's already making, about $720,000 in fees, which is going to also go back into buybacks on these super tokens. So that's going to be a very good liquidity flywheel for people who support Black Hole as well as hold super. But in this video specifically, I want to quickly dive into a few new things that I am doing on this platform, because obviously with DeFi protocols, despite the fact that the emissions are increasing by 3% every epoch, which is basically a week. If we just go over here to the platform, we can go over to votes. And you can see this one ends in 5 days. So right now, the epoch timing is about 7 days per epoch. So we have about 14 weeks where emissions will continue to inflate. That could cause more sell pressure from the people yielding emissions, but then it goes into a deflationary period here whenever we see epoch 14 to 66, where they'll decrease by 1% every epoch to manage inflation and support long-term sustainability. So for me, that would be the point in time where people who have locked tokens, the voting will probably become much more lucrative at that point in time when LPs aren't being so much prioritized on the front end of this platform. And Ellio has said that people who lock their tokens will be incentivized heavily. So what am I doing currently right now? So on the local platform, there's a couple pools that I maintain my positions in. Currently, I am in the Super and Black, which is paying about 510% APR. As well, I am in Bitcoin and AVAX, which has gone down quite a bit, about 73%. But just being able to pair up my AVAX and Bitcoin has been very nice in this protocol. So those are the two ones that I have really prioritized on the local platform until yesterday, whenever we saw this pool get added, actually, the MOG pool. So I went ahead and took a position of my MOG and moved it over. You can bridge it locally on the platform here. You just go over to bridge, and you can see you can select the MOG token. You can do Pepe, SPX. They have pairs for all of these now, which is pretty awesome. Just the fact you can yield off of some of your long-term conviction meme coin holds. So you can go over here. You can see Black and MOG is currently paying 892%. So those are the three that I still have capital in on the local platform. And you might be wondering in your head, what is he talking about local platform? How is he farming Black Hole not on the local platform? Well, if we read between the lines here and we actually, look at some of their partners, one of their partners is actually Yield Yak. Yield Yak is an auto compounding yield platform. You can come over here, you can pair up your LPs and then actually put them to work here, still utilizing Black Hole. So you can see they're all in collaboration with Black Hole. And this is one of their ecosystem partners. So they work hand in hand. You're not using a third party that's not verified or validated. Like Black Hole and Yield Yak, they airdropped the Yak community. There's a lot of airdrop incentives here in the future for upcoming projects as well. But we can just take a look here. Super and Black. The APY is projected at about 9,384%. And if we take a look here on the local platform, obviously it's not auto compounding on the local platform. So you can see it's 876%. That's a big jump. I mean, it's about a 10x jump over the course of the year utilizing auto compounding. So here is really, this is not going to be for everyone. I want to really make sense of this. This is going to get more lucrative, the auto compounding, as time goes on, just with everything, with compound interest. That is just how it goes. Up front, it's going to be a little slower, but as that compound happens, that's when you're going to start hitting some of these 164,514% yield on Black and AVAX. And this is because it already is just compounding your Black and redistributing it in your LPs. So you're not going to see actual yield come back to you in the form of Black if you utilize this platform. You will actually just be strictly seeing the dollar value and gains in your liquidity pools. So this is definitely not for everyone. And this is a degen strategy. And that's why on the preface of this video, it literally says highest yields. This is the way to get the highest yields on this platform by far. Just looking through some of these, 164,000% on Black and AVAX, 9,000% over the year on Super and Black. USDC Black is 282,000%. And this is because obviously the impermanent loss that you could suffer with a stable coin paired up against the native token. Just looking at some of these, like 200,000% APY. And this is real. This is not like a Ponzi. This is a validated platform. We can actually go look and see the Yak token actually. And it's actually, over time been a pretty good performer. If we just take a look at Yield Yak, I mean, it's $572. It's a low market cap, but over the course of the month, it is up about 200%. And they have a good amount of TVL and enough validity in the market to be able to put some capital here. So here's what I would recommend. If you're in it for the long haul and you're seeing this platform as like, okay, I really want to take advantage of the first 14 epochs because that's when the emissions technically keep climbing by 3% a week. I would personally, I kept some of my liquidity on Blackhole. I just think for safety purposes, for just supporting the platform, I'm putting my TVL directly on Blackhole. However, your yield that you're getting on Yield Yak and your LP, it also goes directly into Blackhole just on the back end of this platform. As you can see, it does utilize Blackhole. But let's just like click on one of these, Black and AVAX. You can see there's about 700,000 or 640,000 in total deposits here. And right now the APY, the APR on this pool is about 738%. But with the auto compounding, and it does this every like 15 minutes, it auto compounds your crypto that is in these pairs. That is where you get this massive number. So you're going to see this exponentially grow over time. So this is for someone who is a long-term LPer on Blackhole. You plan to keep money here for a while. Maybe you want to ride out the next 3 months of the bull run because that's how long that 14-week time period is going to be. We'll actually be getting into the first week of November whenever Epoch 15 rolls around and some of those yields start to slow down. So this will be the best time if you really think you're going to be in these pools for the foreseeable future. Take a little bit of the capital, maybe 20, 30, 40% of what you have on Blackhole, just depending on your risk tolerance. I know that I'm going to have money in this platform over the course of the coming months. So for me, this was a no-brainer. I just simply moved some of my pairs off the local platform. I took some of my AVAX bag, I took some of my Black bag, and I threw it in here for 160,760% APY. And look, I understand. Giving DeFi alpha is kind of a double-edged sword, guys. I'm going to be here giving you guys this alpha, and then all of a sudden, y'all are going to run in and take advantage of these pairs, and the yield's going to go down. So it really is a battle. Like, this is a massive way to compound over time, and if you're in it for the long haul, it's a no-brainer. I would recommend not doing all of your capital in this platform. Just make sure your risk-reward and your risk tolerance, you can ride with that, right? Like, I'm a degen, so I put a little more money into this because I just see the vision. And if I'm going to have pools for the next quarter in this platform, why not take advantage of the massive auto compounding yield? Because then, I mean, if I just divided it by, 4 or so, I'd still be very happy with 40,000% on my freaking crypto that I'm staking in Blackhole anyway, right? So just given all of the factors here, I have taken a bunch of liquidity and I've spread it into the Black AVAX pools at 160,000%. I've moved some of my Super Black off platform. So I have still money in the local Super Black pool, this one here, which is 876%, just absolutely ridiculous as far as the yields that we're seeing. I also still have money in AMM Black and MOG. I put this in yesterday. As we mentioned on the show, I just bridged some MOG over for 892%. And then, of course, I still am in the pool here paying 73% on Bitcoin and AVAX. So those are my local pools. I have also gotten into Black AVAX on Yield Yak, as well as Super Black. I've just moved some of my position over here to take advantage of that auto compounding piece. So I've really set myself up well because I can claim native yield on Blackhole. And I can do what I want with it. I can continue to stack my Black bag because I just have a spot bag on the sideline because I think that's going to go up over the course of time. So I can continue to stack Black on the local platform while just auto compounding my bags on this platform. So I'm working in the yield in different mechanisms. One's gaining me direct emissions that I can then pivot to other places in the platform. And then this one is just continuously stacking up my bags, working while I'm sleeping, which is what you want your money to be doing in the DeFi niche. So that is what I am doing. I will preface, this is high risk and this is definitely for someone who is a degen, okay? I would not, if you're an amateur in crypto. If you don't trust a ton of protocols, this may not be for you, but I know some of the biggest brains on Avalanche and in DeFi utilize this, and they are already utilizing this. And over the course of the first month, they'll be multiplying their investment just because they were so early into these pools. So for me, this is what I've done. I've segmented some of my capital across both of these so I can manually manage some of my black emissions and yields on the Blackhole website. But on top of that, this right here just works for me 24/7, 365 while I'm sleeping, while I'm out, while I'm on a date with my girlfriend, while I'm walking my dogs. I come back and I can see the auto compound working for me. So this is exactly what I have done in Epoch 1. And moving forward, I plan on segmenting my capital between these two sites over the course of the first 14 weeks of this platform. So that is what I have done right now to maximize my returns on the Blackhole platform. And I also get a lot of questions of when do I maybe plan to lock some tokens? I would really only lock tokens maybe at the back half of these first 14 epochs, and the reason being is the yield up front is just so lucrative. Like, I'm willing to farm this out, and then my black bag in 3 months is gonna look so healthy. Maybe I can take 10-20% of it and just lock it up and burn it for the voting platform. But for now, I'm still 100% prioritizing the fact that these yields are still way above industry average, and the TVL, like, it's so like ridiculous that it's able to offer these yields, just given the fact that there's 200 million in this platform and we're still seeing 100, 300, 700% APRs on just the local pools, let alone the auto compounding pools. And if you're wanting to get involved with these pools on Yield Yak, utilizing your pairs from Blackhole, here's the way you would go about it. You go choose, if you want to do, USDC, I'm just going to choose one. It doesn't really matter because it's just an example. Go in here, deposit, connect up your wallet. You're going to want to compound, or you're going to want to pair the liquidity here locally on Blackhole. So you're going to approve USDC, approve Black, and create the liquidity pair. From there, it's going to ask you if you want to stake. So the money you want to put on the other platform here, utilizing Yield Yak, the auto compound, you would just go to that same pair, let's just say USDC Black, and whatever you LP'd on Blackhole and you didn't stake, so do not stake that locally if you want to utilize this platform, it will show your balance here, and you can just simply deposit that balance here on Yield Yak. So that is step by step of how to get in the pools on Yield Yak. You just jump in, pair up your liquidity on Blackhole. Do not stake the liquidity once it's paired. Come over here and you can deposit into these auto compounding pools. So guys, if you're enjoying Blackhole, if you're enjoying the content and the alpha on what we're doing to maximize our money in this platform, let me know in the comment section down below, because obviously this has been a big focus and it is a money maker regardless of market conditions. We see altcoins going down today. I don't even really care. Like, I just check on my Blackhole positions and I'm like, yeah, I really enjoy what's going on here with just the compounding and the yield that we're able to generate on this type of a platform. So if you're enjoying it, let me know down below. Like the video and subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys on Monday. As always, play well, my friends. DeFi safely and stay bullish, my friends.